there's a better way to stay close to the Jets. Log on to NewYorkJets.com for post-game video, interviews, and other exclusive features directly from the players and coaches themselves.
We wish you $1 million. We wish you $1 million. We wish you $1 million and a happy new year. Good fortune we bring you from the New Jersey Lottery. Play $1 million New Year for the money. There's a limited amount of tickets. Time is ticking away. You can win $1 million big ones. That's a heck of a payday.
Play $1 million New Year. New Jersey's best odds to win $1 million.
We wish you $1 million and a happy new year.
Coming up tonight, number 11 Pitt is looking for win number 6 in a row. The Panthers' latest fast start is fueled by junior Levance Fields on the outside and by fellow junior Sam Young on the inside. Coach Jamie Dixon has never lost a game in November. Will that continue? We'll find out next. We welcome you to the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Tonight, it is Pitt hosting the Terriers of Boston University. We are delighted to have all of you with us tonight. I'm John Sanders, along with former West Virginia coach Bucky Waters. Panthers off to another great start. They rarely lose early in the season, especially non-conference games. Much of last year, Sam Young was bothered by knee problems, but he is healthy and off to a real flying start.
Yeah, John, and he really typifies this Panther team because they are smaller, quicker, and he's having a terrific start. 2 double-doubles in the first 5 games. He was a Big East Player of the Week last week. He scored double numbers in 13 of the last 16 games, and that includes NCAA and the Big East tournament. Great numbers. He's going to have a good year.
And he is off to a very solid start. It's a different story for the Terriers. They won their first game. They've lost 4 in a row now, and they're missing a huge part of their offense, which is going to put a lot of pressure on a young man, a sophomore, by the name of Scott Britton.
Well, he's a good one, John, at 6'9", and he was good enough against the Hawks of St. Joe, who are always tough, to go for 14 points and 9 boards. But all big men are dependent on the guards, and the guard play just hasn't been there. He's averaging 30 minutes a game, 55% from the floor, but the guard concerns are great for the Terriers.
Well, one of their leading scorers did not make the trip. The other has not played a game so far this year. It's Boston University and Pitt from Pittsburgh. Starters are coming up.
Let the fun begin. The FUBAR demolition tools from
College basketball on SNY is brought to you by Infiniti, who use the power of design to create dynamic, beautiful automobiles. Daily News Live presented by Citi on SNY, the show that broadcasts in the heart of New York that comes straight from the heart of New York sports. The stars of the games, the voices that need to be heard, the writers who bring you the stories that come to the show that brings the back pages to life. Daily News Live presented by Citi, weekdays at 5 p.m. with encores at 11 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on SNY.
Tonight's Big East game from Pittsburgh is brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Both teams have been introduced, and we're just about ready for basketball as the lights come back on here in the Peterson Event Center. Let's check out the starting lineups for both of these teams, and a lot of firepower is missing from that BU lineup because of the absence of Corey Lowe and Tyler Morris. Morris has yet to play, and Corey Lowe, their leading scorer, did not make this trip. There's Dennis Wolf, 14 seasons at the helm. He's had some good teams, Bucky, in a conference a lot of people don't know much about, the America East.
Yeah, he is. He's very well respected. And despite the fact that the core of his team was sophomores, he was picked by the conference coaches to be the best team in the league this year and to participate in the bracket buster, which is quite an honor. Again, coaches sometimes put the onus on other guys, but this is one of the good guys and good coaches.
Sure is. He's done a terrific job there. And As you said, they are picked #1 in their conference, and Jamie Dixon, he just loves the month of November, is yet to lose a game as a head coach of the Panthers. Of course, they roll over most of their non-conference opponents, don't they?
Peterson Center could be a bakery with all the cupcakes that come through here, but that's all right because his teams get better and better and have done well in the Big East tournament and the NCAA, so don't knock it.
Bill McCarthy is our referee. Mike Stewart, Mike Kitts are the umpires, and we're set for the opening tip from the Peterson Event Center. You have to go back to January 2nd of 05. And that victory in a non-conference game by Bucknell. They went on to make the NCAA tournament that year, and everybody thought they would be easy, and they weren't. They beat the Panthers right here in their own home court.
Well, with what's going on in collegiate athletics, both in football and basketball this year, the Appalachians and the Gardner-Webbs, and I mean, you go on and on with the upsets. Everybody must be alert. There is parity.
Almost lost it, did Young. Gets it back to Fields. Fields stopped. Shot clock inside 10. Young penetrates, scoops, misses. It's tipped away. Gets it back. The shot clock, though, is winding down, and that's a shot clock violation. It did not hit the rim.
Boy, give the Terrier defense a lot of credit on that one.
Take a look at our star watch. And Britton is the leading scorer on the team because Corey Lowe is averaging almost 15 a game, but for personal reasons did not make this trip. The trip included a stop in Huntington and a loss to Marshall.
Yeah, and the key to that game was 19 turnovers and probably 10 of them unforced, according to Dennis Wolf, and they led to 22 points. Marshall was not expected to do that to Boston University, but that sort of typifies the uncertainty of this young club early.
That's the coach's son, #2, Matt Wolf, a guy that's missed basically 2 full years with knee problems. But he's back. He's a redshirt junior, and he may go for that extra year. There are the guys who are missing. Tyler Morris last year, he is yet to play a game. They do expect him to return. And Corey Lowe, as we said, not playing the last couple of games. They've got a shot clock problem. It's under 5. There's the launch at the buzzer, and that does not hit the iron. So neither team is able to draw iron in their first possession.
All right, you die-hard Pitt followers. Now, we're looking for subtle changes. The Aaron Gray era is over. The big man era is over. This is a smaller, quicker, much more versatile Pitt team. Not that the others were not good. This is just going to be different. Watch them do a little trapping. Watch them use their speed. We'll try to pick up those subtle differences for you as we progress. Right now, BU playing very good half-court man-for-man, which is a signature of Coach Dennis Wolf.
The shot clock inside 10 again. Cook on a drive down to the baseline, pulls up, hits the top of the rim, followed by Blair. No good, and a rebound now. Here comes BU. Carlos Strong leads it up, a sophomore. They don't have a senior on this team, the Terriers.
These rims will last forever the way this game is going. We've yet to make contact.
Steal by Young, working with Fields. Up he goes, missed the shot. Led him a little too much. Ronald Ramon had it. It was tapped out of bounds, though, by Carlos Strong.
Again, that steady half-court smothering man-for-man defense by Pitt. This was generated, just maybe a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog. I think he could have dunked it without the three-quarter turn.
The freshman Blair inside. Too hard for Young. He threw him a bullet.
Whoa, that one had heat.
Sam just smiled. Second turnover already for Pittsburgh.
I got to tell you, I worked out here in the physical fitness area, and Blair was in there an hour before on 4 different machines, working hard for agility and strength. He's got to take a little off that pass, though.
The skip, the 3 is short, tipped up and rebounded by Blair. He was over 300 pounds last year in high school. There's another one over the top. This time Young makes the catch and draws a foul.
Clearly, this is an up-tempo Panther team. They're not waiting for the big men to set up. What a player.
Well, the problem for Sam, he'd get 1 or 2 good jumps a game last year because of his knees, and his knees wouldn't let him practice all the time either. But this year, a different story. First foul on Britton, first foul of the night, first to miss at the line. Young 12 of 17 in the early going. This is game number 6 for both teams. The Panthers trying to go 6-0 for the 6th straight year. Seems like every year, Bucky, they get off, they'll win 9, 10, 12, 15 in a row.
Yeah, just looking down that schedule, it looks like the first real test outside of Big East is against Duke in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. They will play December 20th, and that place will be sold out, and that will be a test for both.
They've got an interesting road trip, too, to Washington. There's a miss on the three-point attempt that time by Matt Wolf. Oh, here come the Panthers leading 1-0. We've had 1 point combined between these two teams in the first 3 minutes.
And it's not that they're not playing hard. They are. The defense has been good.
Cook for 3. Too strong. Loose ball picked up by Britton. Gets it ahead to Strong. Strong carries it down the lane, scoops it up and scores.
Ooh. Jamie Dixon not happy with that. You've got to stop that penetration.
But a good drive that time by Carlos Strong. He just kept going.
Yep. Pitt had people back, but nobody put that finger out there and said, I got ball.
Fields gets the roll. Levance Fields. That's his 7th three-pointer. He's about a 30% three-point shooter, and he gives the Panthers the 4-2 lead.
He was working hard on it this morning. He's such a smart player.
Britton alone underneath, and then Blair comes back to block it. 3-on-3 for Pitt. Cook with it. Looks inside, instead backs it out. Fields, who hit the three-pointer.
Some teams are good at transition, going from defense to offense. So far, Boston U excellent at getting from offense back to defense.
And the drive by Ronald Ramon, he comes up short. Gets it back. Fields thought about a 3. That's Ramon's specialty, the 3, and he gets it.
Boy, that's a nice backcourt, John. That's a nice backcourt.
Panthers up 5 early.
DeJuan Blair comes even close to what is predicted for him in terms of what he's going to bring to this team. The Panthers are in for another terrific year.
And there's one of those mistakes you talked about by the Terriers. Yeah. Throwing it away, and that'll send us to our first break. A couple of three-pointers for Pitt. There's a block inside. The Panthers by 5.
If you want to make your hard-earned dollar go a whole lot farther, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has the low prices guaranteed to save you money. Get ready to get the best price possible on all the parts and accessories you need with our ready-to-go low price guarantee. Nobody can beat our prices on just about anything for your car. So when you want to get more for your money while getting more out of your car, get to Advance Auto Parts for our everyday ready-to-go low price guarantee.
Ready in advance.
Breakaway, nobody back. That's an easy 2. Syracuse leads by 5.
SNY covers key Big East matchups.
He goes in for the dunk.
Number one. Number two. Number two.
It's giving New York sports fans some real together time.
That was harsh.
SNY, the best of the Big East and more.
Get your New York sports here.
Hey, Jets fans. That's right, I'm talking to you. As soon as our game is over, switch to SNY for Jets post-game live. You don't even have to leave the couch. Just grab the remote and turn to SNY.
Get analysis and all our post-game reactions.
We'll be ready to talk to you every week with Brian Custer,
Ray Lucas,
and Adam Shine in the SNY studios.
Listen to these guys. Watch Jets postgame live after every Jets game this season, only on SNY.
All you got to do is change the channel to SNY. See? It's not that hard.
Get your New York sports here.
The SNY Spotlight shines on Pedro Martinez for an exclusive interview, getting serious on the mound.
And I have never heard from one player that wants to look bad in front of 60,000 people.
Coming back from surgery.
There were so many thoughts that crossed my mind. Am I going to be able to do it again?
And the Mets collapse in 07.
Losing it with 17 games to go, I couldn't take it.
SNY Spotlight Pedro Martinez, Monday at 7 p.m. only on SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
It has a 5-point lead. The Panthers come in averaging 86 points a game and shooting 33% in three-pointers, and they got a couple of them, Bucky, already.
Well, that backcourt is dangerous. Fields with that 3, oh, so soft to roll, but he makes plays, and he's got a mid-range game. And Ramon, well, we know what he can do. Both of those guys out of New York. Fields from Brooklyn. Ramon from the Bronx. And they play with that, as we say in the metropolitan area, moxie. But these two kids can shoot as well.
Panthers have the rebounding edge, 7-2. And you would expect that, I would think. A couple of substitutions now as Holland is checked in, along with Max Gutzler. Three-pointer short, and rebound snatched out of there by Scott Britton.
Panthers went to a zone that time. I don't think Pitt was ready for it. They got a good look, but I look for Boston U to keep changing defenses. They're just not strong enough to stay in there head-to-head with the Panthers.
Slow start for Young. He's 0 for his first 3. Wolf, and that is turned over. Ramon starts back. They've got numbers. 4 on 3. Ramon 4-3, gets it back to Fields, and the Panthers almost turned it over. Well, he loads up again and hits his second three-pointer for Ronald Ramon. 8-point Panther lead.
Johnson was so late getting back for Boston U that the Pitt backcourt thought everybody was in front of him. Kind of like that famous pass in the Final Four. Georgetown threw it away.
Britton is way outside and hands it off now to Marcus Johnson. Shot clock again inside 10. We played 6 minutes. Wolf thought about a 3. Goes to the foul line, pushes it up and off. Tipped up once, twice, 3 times, and finally in. Good job staying with it that time by John Holland.
Terriers impressive coming off that just embarrassing, heartbreaking loss at Marshall in Huntington. They certainly have come out swinging against the Panthers.
Well, they did not have an offensive rebound in the game until that last possession. Young with it. Starts to move. Lost it behind his back. And it's the Panthers who turn it over. So Keith Benjamin comes in for Ramon. And the big man, DeJuan Blair, sits down. As Terrell Biggs, another junior, another New Yorker, is on the court.
Barry Rorison, assistant here for many years, was given credit for the stream of talent from New York. He's moved on. Now a head coach in his own right in Manhattan and doing well.
And on the rebound, the foul is going to go on Benjamin. So Keith Benjamin, one of the 3 seniors on this team. Ronald Ramon is the other, along with Mike Cook. Cook, of course, a redshirt senior because he started out at East Carolina.
How about that for a cultural change, huh?
Absolutely.
Greenville, North Carolina to Pittsburgh. Wow.
Well, he's made the adjustment and becoming a very important part of this team.
Well, this is a great city, John. If you can't make it here, you can't make it.
Fields from outside. That's a 2. His second field goal. He's got 5. Panthers back up again by 8.
The first priority for the Panthers, no longer looking inside for the big fella.
There's a strip and a loose ball, almost stolen. Still, they scramble for it, and the possession arrow is going to keep it at this end of the court. So the Terriers will keep it.
Well, that could have been a highlight in a soccer film. Pretty good footwork out there.
A couple of subs now. Brad Wanamaker, one of the freshmen, checking into the lineup, along with Gilbert Brown, a redshirt freshman who was injured last year. He played in 3 games and then redshirted for the medical problem. Speaking of medical problems, how about Matt Wolf has missed 2 full years of basketball, and he may go for a medical hardship, which means he'd be on the team for 6 years by the time he's done.
He'll be collecting Social Security before he gets his diploma. But he helps him defensively. Obviously, he's the coach's son, and that's always a little extra pressure.
Another turnover, 5 now for the Terriers. 12:32 to play. We're still in the opening half.
Terriers in his zone off the baseline, out of bounds.
Young, the only one of the starters who is still out there. Benjamin passes on the 3. Now Brown. Wanamaker. Dumped down and mishandled by Young.
That bounce pass has got to be thrown about 2/3 of the way, and that one came up a little brisk.
Well, that's 4 turnovers now for Pitt.
Neither team really taking advantage of the turnovers. As we pointed out, Marshall got 22 off of 19 turnovers on Sunday in Huntington. So far, the get-back defenses by both teams pretty good.
Panthers 4 of 11. Terriers are 2 of 11, and turnover number 6 by BU. Here's Wanamaker. He is really hit as he goes up. Ball was blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, well, one of the problems here, coaches, look at this. Inside hand, you should always try to block with the hand closest to the rim. As you can see, it doesn't happen here, and the body comes right into the driver. Automatic.
That not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and dignity at all times. After all, kids do look up to you. You're role models. Now let's get out there and show them how it's done.
The odds the entire city will be frozen in its tracks. 25 to 1. The LR3. Created for the one. Visit your local Land Rover Center.
Get on the court for New York College basketball on SNY. The home of all things New York sports runs the floor with Manhattan College as Antoine Pearson and the Jaspers take on Fordham. College basketball on SNY presented by Infinity. Fordham versus Manhattan College tomorrow at 7 on SNY.
Are you ready for a one-on-one with Mike Tannenbaum? Mike will break down every game and look at the week ahead. And he'll answer your questions.
First and Goal with Mike Tannenbaum, presented by Atlantic Health, Thursdays at 6:30 only on SNY.
Welcome back. 12-4 is our score. Second time the Panthers have had an 8-point lead. Coach Dennis Wolf has done a terrific job in his 14 seasons as the boss of the Terriers.
Well, he grew up in the same zip code as St. John's, went to LSU for a year, and then transferred to Connecticut. He finished Connecticut in '78, had a great career under Coach D. Rowe up there, and then went on into coaching, assistant at University of Virginia, Wake Forest, SMU, and then he finally dug in there at Boston U and won titles there from '02 to '05 in his first 3 years there. The guy can really coach, and last year they were so good and all freshmen, and so much was expected of them as they moved up to the sophomore year, and it may still be realized, but the start has been difficult.
It has been difficult, but as he told us today, they're really gearing for the start of conference play when they hope to have all of their pieces in place and get ready to battle for that American East Championship. 2 bricks at the line by Wanamaker, the freshman. This is Johnson with it. Very low scoring and rather sloppily played game so far. Wolf has it.
Pitt got some turnovers off some traps early in the game. They're back to that straight man for man, that suffocating man for man. I got some heat last year, John. I mentioned it. When you cut through the Pitt defense, you get a full body massage. I mean, those guys, they play it. And they never or hardly ever extend their defense down the floor and take chances. They make you beat their defense just with a hand in your face.
Well, that's what they've built their reputation on. Here comes Wanamaker flying down the lane. Missed the shot. Biggs back up with it, a miss. And again, that one's blocked. One more time, and finally able to nail it to Tyrell Biggs.
I kept looking for Aaron Gray, but he wasn't there.
Maybe one too many spins that time for Johnson. The jumper from outside, bending off, and Brown up for the rebound. Back come the Panthers. They look to push all the time, Bucky. They didn't do that last year. He loses it from behind as John Holland has the steal. The up and under spin move won't go.
The Terriers
could not finish. Here's Benjamin flying down the court and nailing the shot.
Well, this is like NASCAR, but the Terriers have to take advantage of those breakaways. If they just look at this half-court Pitt defense all night, they're in real trouble.
It is 16-4, biggest lead of the opening half. We are nearing the midway point. Here's Wolf with it. Gets into the lane, puts it up, bending off, and the rebound to Benjamin. They're very deep at that guard position, Bucky, and that's why they'll keep running all night long. Brown for three. Rims out. Battle for the rebound. Almost pulled down by Casson-Diggs, and a foul call.
Again, going back to that fitness room while I was in there working out, 4:30. Diggs was in there just lifting and pressing, and I was really impressed.
It is not a shooting foul. Go back into the lineup. The guy who started, Ibrahim Konate.
Just by the way, they all lifted up more than I did.
No, Bucky, I don't believe that.
I got one more year of eligibility, but I can't get anybody to notice.
Benjamin for three. That's good.
Great stroke.
Fourth three-pointer of the first half by the Panthers. They stretch their lead out to 15.
Benjamin, 17 against Buffalo in this early going.
A 9-0 run. And that for Benjamin was his career best. They're beating their opponents by an average of over 31 points a game so far this season. There's the dump down. And a holding foul from behind.
They got to find Scott Britton. Sorry, John. They got to find him sooner and more often. He's been holding them up so far, and I think the Pitt pressure has caused these guards to kind of stray a little bit and go a little too much one-on-one. They got to go to the franchise, and right now it's Scott Britton, 6'9" sophomore from Ontario.
Well, you saw the differences in the scoring points and also in the rebound edge. It's been all Pitt in rolling to their first 5 victories over Houston Baptist, North Carolina A&T, St. Louis, and Mississippi Valley State, and they really clobbered Buffalo. 1 of 2 at the line for Britton, his first point of the evening.
I was a real fan of Lavon Kendall, too, as a defender. Just a good, solid, all-around player. The losses don't seem to hurt Pitt. And that's because Jamie Dixon plays about 9 people in his rotation. So he always has experienced, talented guys coming back. And there just doesn't seem to be any droughts. And that's a credit to coaching and a good philosophy.
Well, setting the illegal screen that time was Biggs. He'll pick up the foul. Heading back to the bench is John Holland. Back in is Marcus Johnson.
Yeah, and that 9-person rotation is really going to be a problem for Dennis Wolf and the Terriers. They just don't have that kind of manpower. Love Pitt's defense. Love it.
They make you earn it, don't they? Almost stolen. The one thing they'd like to see from Scott Britton, they'd like him to get a little more aggressive, more assertive with himself.
Yeah, he's wired. He's just not wired assertive. That's one of the hardest things. I've had some big men over my career coaching at Duke in West Virginia, and you know, you just say you got all the tools, just do it. Well, you know, they're just not wired that way. And then you get some guy with very limited talent who's a wired warrior, and he produces much more.
Over 5 minutes since the Terriers have put it in the basket. At the buzzer, it's short. The rebound falls into the hands of Benjamin. It looked like Konate was going to have that board, but he couldn't hang on. Both teams rather sloppy at times here in the first half. 8:14 to play. Panthers 19-5, and that's dribbled off the foot of Cook, picked up by BU. Konate with it.
Missed the man open up front.
This is Wolf from outside, off the glass too strong. And once again on the weak side, it's Benjamin with the rebound. Here comes Biggs down the lane and jams it home. Tyrell Biggs with his second basket.
I was applauding the Terriers early for their ability to transition back to defense, but they are tired already.
16-point lead. Took it all the way in and laid it home.
Pushing the ball up the floor. That's going to be the signature offensively this year. Tyrell, TJ they call him. He's got hops and he can run. No longer waiting for the big guys to set up.
One of the advantages for this Pitt team is you've got Sam Young plays like a guard. Mike Cook plays like a guard. You bring in Tyrell Biggs off the bench. He can play like a guard. So they have the one big guy in DeJuan Blair, but everybody else just kind of rotates through. We're on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. The Panthers with their biggest lead, up by 16 with 7:48 remaining. Along with Bucky Waters, I'm John Sanders. Delighted to have you with us tonight. The Panthers trying to go 6-0 again.
Yeah, the Oakland Zoo hasn't had a whole lot to really get steamed about, just a couple of little flurries. But Pitt's one of those teams, they're just blue collar. They're not going to give you a whole lot of highlights unless they can get in transition.
Blair, the freshman, the highly touted freshman, is back out there now for the Panthers.
Shinley High School, about a quarter of a mile away. How's that for helping your recruiting budget? And he can really play.
And again, the shot clock inside. And a good job that time of backing down the defender by Scott Britton. Gets his first field goal, and that ends the field goal drought that has been about 6.5 minutes. Here's Cook. Drives baseline, draws a foul. That foul's going to go on Marcus Johnson. It will be his first. And the Panthers are in control, 21-7 at home with 7:07 to play. On the break and the stuff.
Six players do not make a team. If they don't work together, they're just six individuals in matching uniforms. At Oppenheimer Funds, our investment professionals work hand in hand, sharing more than a common goal, sharing the skills that can lead to success. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
It only happens once a year. The Chevy Red Tag event. The time to see some red and save some green. Now get 0% financing for 60 months for well-qualified buyers on every 07 Chevy pickup while supplies last. 0% financing on pickups like Silverado Crew Cab with best-in-class available highway fuel economy. Click on Chevy.com. Then see your local Chevy dealer.
K&G wants you to look your best this holiday season. So right now, you'll find select men's suits, 2 for just $150, and select designer label suits, 2 for just $300. Celebrate in style with K&G. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for women, for less.
What day is it? Sir? So I haven't missed it. Today, everyone gets a rear seat entertainment system. And to you, a rear seat entertainment system.
And one for you, and one for you, and one for you, young boy.
Rear seat entertainment system, everyone.
This holiday season, lease the all-new 2008 XC70 crossover and get a complimentary rear seat entertainment system.
K&G wants you to look your best this holiday season. So right now, you'll find select lady suits, 2 for just $90, and select designer label suits, 2 for just $180. Celebrate in style with K&G. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for women, for less.
21-7 is the score. There was a football game played in the muck last night. Jeff Reed was the guy that got the winning kick finally coming down the stretch. He's here with his long snapper Greg Warren tonight, and we welcome them. A little drier in here than it was. Let's take a look at our stat track.
That game looked more like water polo last night.
Sure did. Mike Cook looking for his first point and gets it.
Kind of interesting, both teams at this early going with 7 turnovers. But Pitt has 6 assists. And Boston University has only 1 assist.
The other side of that is that the Terriers are 3 for 17 from the field, and that's not going to get it done. I don't care who you're playing.
There's lots of opportunities for offensive rebounds.
Well, they only have 4 of those. I think 2 of them or 3 of them came in that one flurry. Remember when they got the putback? There's an air ball. The baseline jumper, bending in. Got the roll that time, did Holland. 4 points for him. 23-9. Panthers on top. Young dishes it off. Loose ball picked up by BU. That one rattles out. And then a foul on Ronald Ramon. He reached in that time on Valdez Saturas, who is in the lineup, number 15. He's from Lithuania. They have players from Germany, Canada, Lithuania, you name it.
United Nations campus. Boston's that kind of city. Pushing the ball up the floor. They're certainly not concerned about spreading the floor, running clock. The Terriers are playing and taking their quick opportunities when they get them, but they just can't put the ball in the basket. They got to find the big fella more often. Scott Britton.
Second won't go, and the rebound by Blair. Levance Fields is back out there. The Panthers now going with their original starting lineup. Young, Cook, Blair, Ramon, and Fields.
Terriers back to their best defense, man for man.
Blair fights it up and draws the foul, and that'll go on Saturas.
Well, it's good that he's not reluctant to shoot, but that was not a good shot. He didn't really make a good turn. He got to turn that shoulder in and take a look.
Well, Britton is on the bench right now for the Terriers, sitting with just 3 points. Panthers led by Ramon's 6 so far.
Yeah, I think that the Boston U offense really needs to run through Scott Britton if that's at all possible. But you have to credit the Pittsburgh defense. They very seldom let you do what you want to do.
1 out of 2 is all he can make. The ball comes loose, but it's picked up by Johnson. You would expect the Panthers to have a large rebounding edge. They do. Wolf to the baseline, no place to go.
I don't see anything going. I mean, they're not looking for Britton. They're just dribbling. Again, credit to Pitt defense. It's survival out there.
Shot clock inside 10 again. You said that a lot. Fields will not let him go. They set the trap. Here's a 3 on the way. Good. Just beating the buzzer that time was Carlos Strong. His first 3-pointer, the first for the Terriers, and his 7th on the season.
That's one of the few times that the Panthers have been burned by trying to double down in the corner, but it's going to be good for them over the course of the season. It'll help to generate some transition, which is where they'll excel.
Young to the hole and draws the foul. He'll go to the line. So Sam Young with his first field goal. The foul is on Saturas.
Oh, good power-up move. No help from the weak side for BU. Just too little, too late. And Britton has to be very careful that he doesn't get in foul trouble.
Sam Young now with 4 points, completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. Here's Wolf, guarded by Cook. Here comes the trap. Again, that shot clock heading toward the 10-second mark. Knocked away by Blair. Here come the Panthers. Fields will push. Scoops, scores.
That turnover was caused because Sarutas, the 6'7" sophomore from the Terriers, didn't want the pass. He just kind of looked at it and wanted to get it off his numbers. When a Pitt guy's guarding you, you better go meet the ball or it's never going to get home.
Again, a 16-point lead, and you can see points off turnovers. So far, the Panthers have 7. Ramon with a good job of dribbling and then almost gave it away. Picked up and put back in the basket by Cook. Mike Cook's first field goal.
That wasn't the way Jamie Dixon put it on the blackboard, but it worked.
Well, it's an 18-point lead, and that is the largest now of the first half. It's 31-13. And we still have exactly 4 minutes remaining to be played as Jamie Dixon will go to work. The 42-year-old head coach. Look at that little move behind the back. A good job by Cook to come up with the loose ball and take the basket. He was the only guy last year, I think, Bucky, that did a lot of driving to the basket because they didn't need to. They had Aaron Gray in there.
Yeah, that is a whole personality change. But I spoke with Jamie today, and I said, you know, really, what major differences are there going to be now that Aaron Gray has moved on? And he just feels like that with Blair stepping in there, that they're still going to be center-oriented. They're just going to be quicker there. And they're going to be able to run more. They're not going to be looking in the rearview mirror to see whether Aaron Gray is filling the lane and is going to get there. So they're going through a transition now in style, not in quality of talent or anything else. They're going to be good. They came from 11 to 7 this week, or no,
they went from 17 to 11.
17 to 11. So it's being recognized.
Three-pointer on the way, bending off from the loose ball, scramble for it. Young just saved that one from going out of bounds. Now LeBance field, 3.5 to play, and a push in the back, I think. Gotzler will pick up his second foul. We have a timeout here. Panthers comfortably in front at 31-13.
Everything should work as well as the Stanley Tripod Flashlight, now 10 times brighter with adjustable beam.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Have you ever led an expedition? Have you ever been honored by the Louvre? Have you ever protected nobility? Have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? Range Rover, designed for the extraordinary.
Time remaining, 3:26 in the first half. I'm John Sanders with Bucky Waters, former head coach at West Virginia. I know you always love to go back down there, don't you, and visit?
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're not on the schedule this year, but it'll be interesting to see the transition from John Beeline to Huggins, who is back home. I remember him as a player doing games, and yeah, he played just like he coaches, you know, just kind of tough and with an edge, and that's the way his teams will be as well. They were at Cincinnati. Saw Jamie in Kansas City. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame inductions later, but he was out there along with his former boss, Ben Holland, who now heads the USA Today ESPN coaches poll. He's got his Bruins in first place.
Yes, sir. And of course, it was those Bruins that knocked the Panthers out of the NCAA tournament a year ago.
Yep. Yep. Those are hard. I played against my mentor a few times, a guy named Vic Bubas at Duke when I was at West Virginia. And those games are emotional. You know, you've been in the trenches together, and somebody's got to lose.
It's 33-13, biggest lead of the half, and that's a turnover. John Holland couldn't decide whether to pass it or dribble it, and he got caught in between and turns it over.
Well, there's nothing really going on. You know, we talked again and again about the failure to get good guard play for the Terriers. They were in a holiday festival last year, and they took St. John's to overtime with freshmen, and then they lost by 5 points to St. Joe's in the third place game. Their guards were terrific, and such was the anticipation for this year, sophomores.
Young with his outside basket now has 6 points. Pitt has gone on 3 substantial runs so far tonight in building this 22-point lead. A couple of 9-0 runs and now an 11-0 run for Pitt.
The Terriers are just facing that Pitt grinder defense and just can't create good opportunities.
Shot clock at 2 as he gets off a 3 and hits it. That's the second for Carlos Strong. He's got 8 points to lead the scoring for his school. 35-16. Cook back to Fields. Young is on with Benjamin, and from outside, bending up and good.
The iron was kind.
The first tonight for Cook.
Not many on that offensive board for the Panthers, however, and they'll hear about that from Coach Dixon.
When you get bounces like that, you don't have to rebound, right?
Yeah, you can't bank on them.
I know it. They finally get it inside. Britton draws a foul. That'll be the second on Terrell Biggs. Comes with Tyrell, picks up the foul with 1 minute and 48 seconds left in the half. Wolf is set to check back in for his dad, who was all over him a while ago. And also Gilbert Brown will return for the Panthers. And just 1 of 3 so far for the Canadian. This is a team, the Terriers, as you see Wolf checking back into the lineup, that made a trip to Taiwan. But in addition to that, Scott Britton played on the Canadian national team, and he had a lot of summer basketball on him as he gets his second from the foul line, gives him 4 points on the night.
We talked about those 2 terrific guards that are not playing, Tyler Morris and Corey Lowe, in that trip to China. They both averaged 31 minutes. One had 69 assists, the other had 71. One had 14 points per game, the other had 13. They're like a double-barrel shotgun, and neither, of course, are here with the team.
Benjamin working outside, finds Fields, shot clock at 10. Here comes Levance. He'll stop and go move, pulls up, pops, got it.
That one will be on the 11 o'clock news. That was showtime. I watched him again in the workout this morning. He really works on that mid-range game. A lot of guards, you know, they want to crossover dribble and slash to the basket, or they want the 3. And he just, you know, he just under control, penetrates, and takes what you give him.
That's a long 3. What a great pass. He returns the favor, huh? Gilbert Brown.
That's in the highlight film. What a great team demonstration. A, it was good defense, and 2, it was unselfish.
The lead grows to 25. 8 different Panthers have scored so far. And of course, it's those scoring droughts that have hurt the Terriers. And you credit that to the Pitt defense. Matt Wolf really hasn't had very many good looks at the basket at all tonight. Pulling up for the jumper and drilling it home is Carlos Strong. So he's in double figures at 10. Miners stay with us at halftime. We're going to talk a lot about what's happening around the country and in the Big East. And that one bends home. Somehow he got the roll. But it will not count. Fields picks up his first foul. 42-19.
So smart, Levance Fields, so smart.
At the buzzer, And we've got our Big East halftime report coming up. We'll check some scores. We'll look around the Big East Conference. Of course, we'll have all the highlights and stats coming up, but it's the first half dominated by the Panthers of Jamie Dixon. You can smile because it's all Pitt. 42-19 at intermission. The Panthers in control. We'll start our halftime in a minute.
I came to the University of Pittsburgh to learn with the best.
At Pitt, we become better students.
We learn that education extends beyond the classroom.
At the University of Pittsburgh, we learn how to explore and discover.
And how to gain knowledge from every experience.
If we're known by the company we keep, then at the University of Pittsburgh, we're among the best.
It's Toyota's 50th anniversary, so Toyotathon has never been bigger. We're celebrating with phenomenal deals on the biggest Toyota selection in history. Right now, you can lease the fun-to-drive Corolla for only $179 a month. Or check out the remarkably efficient Camry. You can lease one for $199 a month. Or how about a sporty RAV4 for just $249 a month? It's Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration. But during the most phenomenal Toyotathon ever, you're the one getting the gifts.
To get your Sportsnet New York on the web, make your homepage SNY.TV, the online home of all things New York sports. Real-time news, scores, team pages, exclusive video, blogs, message boards, and more. Your link to every local sports section. Your link to every single New York team. Pre-game, post-game, every game. A site dedicated to you, the New York sports fan. If you want your SNY online, bookmark SNY.TV.
Get your New York sports online here.
As quarterback of the Giants, I fight hard to win. Hi, I'm Eli Manning. This is Simon and Ethan. They were born 12 weeks too soon and weighed only 1.5 pounds. They had to fight hard just to survive. Over 30,000 babies are born prematurely each year in New York, and that number is on the rise. I've teamed up with the March of Dimes to fight against premature birth. Join us, and together we can win. Log on to marchofdimes.com. Let's give every baby a healthy start.
I'm Gary Apple. Coming up on Geico Sports Nights, Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce is going to be live at our studio to talk Big Blue football. And we'll talk about the Jets with Greg Buttle and Ray Lucas. Lukey Luke to his friends. Geico Sports Night, 6:10 at 1 a.m.
Hey Jets fans, here's your shot at an SNY Jets All Access Pass. Attend a live taping of an SNY Jets studio show. Get 4 tickets to Jets Browns on December 9th, including pregame on-field passes. You want the access? Log on to SNY.TV today to enter and win.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, and our Big East halftime report is the Terriers of Boston University, the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh, who played the first 20 minutes of this matchup here tonight. We're going to take you back to March 10th. That was the Big East championship game in Madison Square Garden, New York City, a battle between Georgetown and these same Pitt Panthers. It was a big night for Roy Hibbert. He had a double-double. He had 18 points. He had 11 rebounds and led the way for Georgetown as they won the championship. It was a miserable night for Aaron Gray. Made only 1 field goal, had 3 points. It was the Hoyas of head coach John Thompson III who cut down the nets as the Big East champions, a position they've been in the past. And you look, I think, Bucky, at the ranked teams. Syracuse no longer in the top 25, but 5 others are.
Yeah, and Syracuse, I think I calculated they're 28th, so they're just slipped out this week. Louisville dropped from 6th to 10th, but Pitt made a terrific recovery, coming from 17th to 11th, and just starting to get the national acclaim I think this team deserves.
And you look at those 5 teams, you got to figure those are the teams the coaches are going to figure are going to battle for the Big East championship this year. And in the coaches poll, you can see it's pretty much as predicted.
Yeah, and I think the coaches are really the most accurate prognosticators. Sometimes I think they gang up on somebody to make them look bad if they don't do well. But I think this really is accurate. And look at the influence from out in Louisville, Marquette, some of the newer teams in the conference trying to replace the old standbys. And they're down near the bottom. St. John's, which is not good for the Big East Conference. It's better when you're good in New York.
You need to get the Johnnies better. We've got some top 25 scores. We'll check that out when we return with more of our Big East halftime report from Pittsburgh.
The PapaJohns.com Bowl returns to Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama.
as Conference USA takes on the Big East Conference on Saturday, December 22nd. Tickets are now on sale with pricing starting as low as $20 per seat. And the early bird special. Buy 4 tickets prior to November 1st and get 1 complimentary parking pass to the bowl. To purchase tickets, call 205-996-6343 or log on to papajohnsbowl.com today.
The Range Rover Sport, with complimentary scheduled maintenance. Visit your local Land Rover Center.
Basketball fans, this is head coach Tom Pecora letting you know that your 2007 Hofstra basketball season has arrived. This year's home schedule features great matchups versus ACC opponent Virginia Tech and CAA matchups with VCU and George Mason. Season tickets are on sale now with great seats still available. Call 516-HOF-TIX. That's 516-HOF-TIXX. Make your plans now to join us for another exciting year of Hofstra Hoops. Hofstra basketball is the pride of Long Island.
Get on the court for New York College basketball on SNY. The home of all things New York sports runs the floor with Manhattan College as Antoine Pearson and the Jaspers take on Fordham. College basketball on SNY presented by Infinity. Fordham versus Manhattan College tomorrow at 7 on SNY. Under the SNY spotlight, Pedro Martinez looks forward to a full season in 2008.
If I'm healthy, the whole staff gets better. I believe that if I'm there, there's so many things that I can help with.
SNY Spotlight, Pedro Martinez, Monday at 7, only on SNY.
It is 42-19. The Panthers are in front, comfortably in front. And let's take a look at our Big East Coaches Spotlight. It's brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds. A closer look at Jamie Dixon. 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments. The first Pitt coach with 20-plus wins in his 4 straight seasons. Second best start in NCAA history. All he does is win. Let's take a look now at some of the scores. First of all, checking out other action in the Big East. And West Virginia rolling over Maryland, the Eastern Shore, 83-27 down in Morgantown. And at the half, Providence leads Maine at 37-25. Top 25 action. Indiana in the second half ahead of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's ahead of number 15 Indiana. And in the first period, you saw that score, 18-13. Memphis leading Austin Peay. Wisconsin and Duke, not yet. We've got more to come. We'll have some highlights and stats from the opening 20 minutes when we return to the University of Pittsburgh.
The inaugural Pizza Hut Big East SEC Invitational tips off at the Wachovia Center on Thursday, December 6th in Philadelphia. This basketball doubleheader is sure to provide non-stop action as the LSU Tigers and South Carolina Gamecocks head north to take on the Providence Friars and the Villanova Wildcats. South Carolina versus Providence tip things off at 7, followed by LSU against Villanova at 9:30. Witness all the action of the first ever Pizza Hut Big East SEC Invitational by calling 1-800-298-4200 or log on to ComcastTix.com and order your tickets today.
I came to the University of Pittsburgh to learn with the best.
At Pitt, we become better students.
We learn that education extends beyond the classroom.
At the University of Pittsburgh, we learn how to explore and discover.
And how to gain knowledge from every experience.
If we're known by the company we keep, then at the University of Pittsburgh, we're among the best.
Welcome to the new shape of fast. Introducing the new Pontiac G6 GXP Street Edition. Pontiac, designed for action.
What day is it?
Sir?
So I haven't missed it.
Today, everyone gets a rear seat entertainment system.
And to you, a rear seat entertainment system.
And one for you, and one for you, and one for you, young boy.
Rear seat entertainment system, everyone.
This holiday season, lease the all-new 2008 XC70 crossover and get a complimentary rear seat entertainment system.
The off-season is here, so it's time to heat up the hot stove. The Mets year-round TV home dishes the hot stories, the hot rumors, the hot wheeling and dealing. Free agency, trades, all the moves and analysis can be found here along with news from all around the league. Kevin Burkhardt is your host, and he'll welcome special guests throughout the winter as the Mets fill in the blanks and put together an amazing 2008 roster. Mets Hot Stove, presented by Chef's Diet, every Monday at 6:30 p.m. with an encore at 11 p.m. only on SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Panthers leading by 23. It is still halftime in this matchup between the America East and the Big East Conference. Welcome back. I'm John Sanders along with Bucky Waters, and we're going to take a look at some highlights. There weren't a lot in that first half for Boston U. We had to look to find some of these.
We worked hard to get those, but the Terriers did have a few. When they were able to push the ball up the floor, it was all right. That was the man they needed to find. Scott Britton, nice turn move inside.
Unfortunately, that was his only basket in the first half. That's
he didn't
the problem
handle it
there.
Enough. No, but Carlos Strong, so did Jay. But they fought for everything. I'm telling you, Pitt had skin under their fingernails with their defense. It was impressive.
Well, Carlos Strong was the key. He was the only guy in double figures. He had those 2 3-pointers, wound up with 10 points. Panthers spread it around. 8 different guys scored, as they always do. And it all starts with the guard play, and they did a good job outside as well.
Well, the New York kids did it, and they have done it defensively and offensively. Fields showing that mid-range game. You know he's got the jets to go by you, but he doesn't always use them. Ramon pitches out. Fields back to Ramon. Yeah, just like you put it on the blackboard. And of course they're running. DJ Tyrell Biggs showing his athleticism. Little double clutch there by Levance Fields. Watch this, watch this. Crossover dribble, fade away, and lingerie on the floor for the defense. They just look so good running. Watch this. Gilbert Brown, the freshman, finishes with authority.
Here's the shooting, only 28% for the Terriers. Panthers shot almost 60%. Big rebounding edge. Points off turnovers, 11-1. It was a problem in Marshall for Boston University, and it's a problem again tonight.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, Pitt was turning it over early. I think they had 8 at the half. And then only had 1 in the last 10 minutes of the first half. They got it going.
They did get it going. They've got a big halftime lead. We've got more Big East basketball action coming up right after this.
I came to the University of Pittsburgh to learn with the best.
At Pitt, we become better students.
We learn that education extends beyond the classroom.
At the University of Pittsburgh, we learn how to explore and discover.
And how to gain knowledge from every experience.
If we're known by the company we keep, then at the University of Pittsburgh, we're among the best.
Okay, listen up, people. I'm talking to you, fans, coaches, and players. It's been brought to my attention that not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and dignity at all times. After all, kids do look up to you. You're role models. Now let's get out there and show them how it's done.
Have you ever led an expedition? Have you ever been honored by the Louvre? Have you ever protected nobility? Have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? Range Rover, designed for the extraordinary.
Few sights thrill the heart more than these magnificent creatures. I'm Pierce Brosnan. The challenges facing Wales and the marine environment are very real, and your support for the International Fund for Animal Welfare is making a real difference. The IFO team is working around the world to save and protect whales for future generations to enjoy. Your commitment is what makes their heroic work possible.
Last week, SNY covered New York sports issues like no one else on Daily News Live, presented by Citi.
He should have never got the extension last year. A 6-game improvement? Are you kidding me? He is hated in this town.
That's a classic example of poor evaluation on the organization. We felt Kazmir was a guy that would not hold up. The irony is Tampa Bay gets him. He goes down there, they put him in the rotation, and he's the #1 starter right now.
Daily News Live, presented by Citi, is only on SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Let's go, Pitt! Let's go, Pitt! The zoo at work here in the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. 42-19 is our halftime score. Take a look at the leading scores for BU.
Well, there wasn't much. Carlos Strong with 8 points was clearly the offense for the Terriers. And again, we keep making the point. Scott Britton with only 2 shots. That won't do it.
Let's take a look at the Panther leaders. Fields with 9 points. Blair with 4 rebounds. And the assists by Cook and Fields.
The Panthers were 5 for 8 from 3, and it looked like those threes came off of something. Something that was premeditated, either in transition or inside out. But for Boston University, they were 2 for 9, and most of those were to beat the shot clock or just desperation and exasperation with the Pittsburgh defense.
Well, that's what happened. Look at the starting lineups, same as we began the game, with Wolf, Britton, Strong, Johnson, and Kanate. And for the Panthers, it's Young, Cook, Blair, Ramon, and Fields.
Terriers starting in a 2-3 zone. Purpose for that, I think, is to try to slow the Panthers down a little bit.
Mishandled a couple of different times, and Pitt still comes up with the basketball with the shot clock at 10. Ronald Ramon for 3. That's his 3rd tonight.
Cannot give him that shot. Make him drive. Make him do something else. Don't give him that one. Pitt, to no one's surprise, back in the half-court man for man.
A 26-point advantage for the Panthers. Wolf rattles out. Fields will track it down. Here comes the Panthers.
It was a good look. They kept Pittsburgh on defense for a while. That's a good thing. And they got a good look.
Young has trouble hanging on to it. Finally gets it to Ronald Ramon, who opens the scoring in the second half with a 3-pointer. Now Cook against Wolf. Fields goes over the top to Blair, makes the catch, has it blocked, gets it back, and rattles it home.
Very athletic. He had it. It was a return to sender, and he resent it. Good. Very quick. Got hops, good hands. Reminds me of Craig Smith from Boston College. One of the round mound of rebound type of guys. If you're going to go around him, you got to take your lunch, and they can spring.
Wolf goes inside to Britton, spins, then dumps it off. Another turnover. Back come the Panthers. And the shot clock is off completely at one end of the court. There, it's back. And Mike Kitts said, wait a minute, there's nothing on the shot clock. That was quickly resolved, and we're ready to go again. 47-19.
It's interesting, John, in the early going, both teams were struggling to get a good shot before the shot clock expired. Right. Now it's much more loose.
Fields misses a 3. Young foul on the rebound, picks up his first.
Carlos Strong, well, he's an impressive sophomore from Portland, Maine. At 6'3", he really gets up in the air, and he really elevates on that jump shot.
Well, he had a couple of 3-pointers in the first half, and a total of 8. There's the dump down, and that's a travel. Kanate had no place to go, Bucky, that time, and he wound up taking too many steps.
Yeah, it gets crowded in there with those white jerseys and those hands flashing at you. As I said before, they got skin under their fingernails. They really hustle on the defensive end, and that's good coaching.
2.5 minutes gone in the second half. Fields will try another 3. That's an air ball saved by Young, but he's out of bounds.
Jamie Dixon up, trying to get his team back in gear. Hated to see that half come because they really started to get on track.
So they have done all the scoring so far here in the second half. That's been a problem for the Terriers, Bucky. They with these dry spells, they've gone now another 3 minutes without a basket. And as you said, they're not really getting very many good looks at the basket. Throws it away. Dennis Wolf just sits down. He said, I can't take it any longer. He was the closest Terrier to the ball.
And he has no eligibility left, and he wasn't that good a shooter. No, I'm just kidding. He played for D. Rowe. D, of course, a legendary coach at Connecticut.
Inside Blair. Somebody got a piece of that one from behind, and I think we've got a foul.
D. Rowe has had some health issues over the last couple of years. In fact, at the end of the shoot-around today, he just called Dennis, just the kind of guy that D. Rowe is. He just kind of called him, try to pick him up after that game in Huntington, West Virginia. Tough loss to Marshall.
I was talking to some of them as Blair hits the free throw about the ride from Huntington to Pittsburgh. And he said every time they woke up, they were still in West Virginia. I mean, it's a long state.
Yeah. The roads are so much better now. We used to come up through Mount Lebanon from Morgantown. Now they got all kind of expressways.
30-point lead, biggest of the night. They just will not let them penetrate, will they?
No,
There's a nice release. Shot a little strong, though. Here comes Young. He's been kind of quiet tonight. Guy averaging almost 19 a game. Young. That didn't work in the first half, but it works that time. 8 for Sam.
Pitt has gone from the 7-foot monster man to a high wire rack, and they have the athletes to pull it off.
Well, they are on another run, a 9-0 run to start the second half. Terriers still have not scored. 51-19. Ouch. That one bends off and tipped away. Scramble for the loose ball. Kanate got it. Wolf will shoot a 3 from the corner. That's short. And he'll get it back. And then throws it right to Levance Fields, who's got Blair with him. Young trails the play. And Fields somehow sneaked in there with the left hand. Gets himself into double figures now.
He's so good, John, in close quarters. You know, he knows when to kick it. He knows when to keep it. Again, going back to those crafty New York guards.
And the run grows, an 11-0 run to start the second half for Pittsburgh. Britton. High arching shot is well short by Kanate. Fields, Cook, came up short, gets it back, tries to power his way up, and he'll go to the foul line. He was disappointed with that first effort, so he went and got the rebound.
Yeah, I don't think Jamie was too pleased with it either. He's meeting him halfway out there.
The foul is on Wolf. Jamie can smile because his team has been rolling. Young missed this one in the first half, but he gets it here.
You get just 24 hours every day to work towards your goals. Just 24 hours to get one step closer to your dreams. And at PNC, we're always searching for ways to help. To give you solutions designed to uncomplicate your life. So you can navigate the next 24 hours. PNC, leading the way.
What day is it? Sir? So I haven't missed it.
Today, everyone gets a rear seat entertainment system. And to you, a rear seat entertainment system. And one for you, and one for you, and one for you, young boy.
Rear seat entertainment system, everyone.
This holiday season, lease the all-new 2008 XC70 crossover and get a complimentary rear seat entertainment system.
The Jets pull off an unforgettable victory.
All right.
But the Jets weren't the only winners today.
Yeah.
Check out this divisional clash at the top.
SNY covers the Jets and all their rivals.
A 21-point first quarter kept by this powerhouse drive in the red zone. The running game unstoppable, right through the heart of the defense. And what better way to seal the win?
It's where New York sports fans spend quality time together. SNY, the TV home of the Jets, and more.
It's New York sports here.
Well, the Panthers on an 11-0 run. 19-4 run. An old friend of yours right there next to Bill Hillgrove on the left side. That's Dick Grote.
Yeah, his jersey hangs in Cameron Indoor Stadium. An All-American in basketball and baseball was he for Duke, and he was honored with induction into the College Basketball Hall of Fame. And despite his great baseball career, he confessed in his acceptance speech that basketball was his favorite game, and he is so grateful to the University of Pittsburgh for the 29 years he has been doing the radio. Look at that resume.
Unbelievable.
He led the nation in scoring and assists.
I know it.
Yeah, that's like, you can't do that, but he did. He also got 48 points in his final game against a team, University of North Carolina. They're never very good, and Duke really doesn't care that much about, but he got 48 in his finale, and that was sort of typical of the way his career went.
Everything on the perimeter right now for the Terriers. Now they get it inside to Britton. Young won't let him go. Finally, he spins away, gets inside, and then loses the ball. Another turnover.
That's all right. He's got to do more of that. He's been too passive.
And the traveling violation will turn it back the other way. 15 turnovers for the Terriers. Double figures now for Pitt. They've turned it over 10 times. This once again back in the lineup is Gilbert Brown. He had a high-flying dunk in the first half for his 2 points. It's 55-19.
Now looking back, boy, he really gets that shot up in the air. It
Yes,
almost
he does.
has ice on it when it comes down.
That one is short as well. Brown scrambles out of there with the basketball, gets it to Wanamaker. Wanamaker tried to make a move and go around the defender, and instead it goes out of bounds. So the Panthers will keep at their end of the court.
Nice defensive play by Johnson that time for the Terriers to keep him in front.
Yeah, it was almost an offensive foul.
Yes.
So back into the lineup is Sarutis. Out is Sarutis checking back in, and back to the bench again is Gotzler. Here they come. Terriers on the move for a change. And he missed the dunk. That's the kind of night it's been. Holland tried to slam it home, couldn't do it. This is a long three that finds the bottom of the basket. So Strong now with 11 points. That is his third three-pointer.
I don't think there's any way the Terriers are going to catch the Panthers, but I tell you, Dennis Wolf has got to be pleased with the performance of Carlos Strong in here in the Peterson Center against a tough D.
That runner won't go on the rebound at the defensive end, brought out of there by John Holland, who finds Carlos Strong. Strong's high points this year, 30 in his career. He has 11 so far tonight. That foul will go on Sarutis. It'll be his third. And so the Panthers, a milestone tonight with their attendance. Over 1 million folks have come into this building in the 6 years that it has been open. And they come because the Panthers rarely lose in this building. So they are over 1 million. Wanamaker to the line.
When you got a good act, the crowd will show up.
Absolutely.
Good sports town, Pittsburgh. I think probably right now, if you rated Pittsburgh sports, of course, Steelers are the dominant factor, but I think Pitt basketball would be a clear second, even with the Pirates and Penguins, and they've been good a long time.
and 2 at the line for Wanamaker. He missed a couple in the first half, so he gets his first points. Half of the points for the Terriers have been scored by Carlos Strong. He has 11. Everybody else on the team has 11. So he has been the one standout. You're right, Bucky. Britton again tries to get inside, kicks it to the corner. That's a three-pointer on the way and good again. This time it is Holland with his three-pointer. The freshman from the Bronx has 7, 57-25. Benjamin for 3, bending off. Do you think he had a hold of him? That'll be the second foul on Scott Britton. You're going to hold him, Bucky, hold him.
I thought he was asking him to dance. I wasn't sure. Part of that's fatigue. Pitt just keeps turning these people over, and even though they're not full court pressing, there's still a lot of transition, and sometimes just being on defense as long as you have to be against them, they just work you, both ends of the floor, and they've got the depth to do it and do it well.
Here's Benjamin, thought about 3. Shot clock at 15. Along the baseline now, fighting it up, no good. Rebound scramble, and the Terriers have it. This is Holland racing in and dunks it.
That one brought Jamie Dixon out of the coaching box, which is a no-no. But I think, you know, with a 30-point lead, probably it's not going to be called.
Well, he's not altogether pleased, but he's got the big lead.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's a car insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
The Range Rover Sport, with complimentary scheduled maintenance. Visit your local Land Rover Center.
Welcome to Verizon Fios. It's pure, undiluted movies, music, and sports. They flow on light straight to your home. 100% digital fiber optics makes videos and music come alive and takes high-def TV to a higher level. Movies and exclusive programs are at your fingertips. Record a show on one TV and view it on any other. And you don't just watch sports, you feel them with picture clarity that's unmatched anywhere. Send photos from your PC to your TV. Play games at blazing speeds on the fastest internet connection available. The network we call Verizon Fios. Get Fios TV, internet, and unlimited calling for less than $95 a month. Sign up now and you'll receive a free Sharp 19-inch LCD HD TV. Call 1-877-444-FIOS. Verizon Fios, the most advanced fiber optic network straight to your home.
All Panthers right now. They lead it by 30. We're nearing the midway point here in the second half. Let's see what else is happening in Big East basketball tonight. West Virginia rolling over Maryland Eastern Shore. It's Providence ahead of Maine. They're in the second half in that one. Friars off to a 3-1 start so far.
And they're looking to be much improved this year.
You know, the Panthers about to go 53-1 against non-conference teams in this building. The only one to beat them was Bucknell in January of 05. That comes up short. It's been a tough night for Matt Wolf. When he's had good looks, he hasn't been able to get him to go. And that was the case right there. He had a nice look at a three and just couldn't hit it. Here's Britton. Wolf draws a crowd, has it blocked, gets it back, blocked again.
Scott Britton is very unselfish, and that's you know, to be lauded, but he really needs to be more assertive under the present situation.
foul is going to go on Casson Diggs. He'll pick up his second.
Juwan Blair, who was 23 for 40 and shooting 57% coming into this game, really hasn't had much in the way of touches and going for the basket. But the balance on this Pitt team is to be admired. But the players got to keep that in their head, because many times, you know, they're looking at that stat sheet, and it's too important on the individual side.
Wolf with it from outside. Missed by Sarutas. And then a putback on a nice follow. Quick move by Holland. He's got double figures now at 11. He and Carlos Strong each have 11 points. So they've got 22 of the 29 that BU has on the board so far.
Holland, a freshman out of the Bronx. Nice surprise.
And a little run now for BU. They're on a 10-4 spurt, cutting into that lead.
And they're back in the zone, trying to pack it in.
Benjamin for three. Comes up short. Tipped and tracked down by Carlos Strong.
I'm not alibiing for Pitt, but, you know, I think this 30-point lead that they've kind of gone into neutral here.
Britton with a turnaround off the glass and good.
Attaboy. More of that. More of that. Be assertive.
And Jimmy Dixon's going to take a quick timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 57-31. Panthers in front.
Let the fun begin. The FUBAR demolition tools from Stanley.
Okay, listen up, people. I'm talking to you, fans, coaches, and players. It's been brought to my attention that not all of you have been displaying good sportsmanship. I simply will not tolerate taunting, name-calling, cursing, or any behavior that shows a lack of respect. I want you to act with class and dignity at all times. After all, kids do look up to you. You're role models. Now let's get out there and show them how it's done.
It's Toyota's 50th anniversary, so Toyotathon has never been bigger. We're celebrating with phenomenal deals on the biggest Toyota selection in history. Right now, you can lease a roomy new family-friendly Sienna for $249 a month. Or lease a new Highlander for $269 a month. Both come with standard vehicle stability control and traction control. It's Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration. But during the most phenomenal Toyotathon ever, you're the one getting the gifts.
I'm Gary Apple. Coming up on Geico Sports Night, the Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce is going to be live at our studio to talk Big Blue football. And we'll talk about the Jets with Greg Buttle and Ray Lucas. Lukey Luke to his friends. Geico Sports Night, 6:10 at 1 a.m.
Are you ready for a one-on-one with Mike Tannenbaum? Mike will break down every game and look at the week ahead. And he'll answer your questions.
First and Goal with Mike Tannenbaum, presented by Atlantic Health, Thursdays at 6:30, only on SNY.
All Panthers midway through the second half. And let's take a look now at our game-changing performance brought to you by Pontiac. How about Levance Fields, huh?
Yeah, Levance Fields is the only Panther in double figures. And here's a little package on how he did that. He's 5'7". Very, very efficient. Showing you moves, patient, poised. You get seasick guarding the guy, for God's sake. And he's got the deep three when he needs it. That's called a clinic at point guard play.
And that is our Pontiac game-changing performance. He'll take a break right now, and we're still having a problem with the clock at the Pitt end of the court. It is off completely. In fact, both of them are off right now. So everything's not perfect here. And this was voted by the players in the Big East as the toughest place to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Well, you know, that's interesting. It's beautiful, but it's more theater. It's like a concert hall. And so many of the arenas, the students right down. Well, we got the Oakland Zoo behind us, but This is a pretty respectable crowd. They know their hoops too. 1-3-1 now for the Boston University Terriers. A little different look. I expect some trapping out of it. Hopefully they can get some transition because they're having such a hard time against the half-court defense.
Well, we're going to play without a shot clock. Wanamaker to Benjamin. That's a three-pointer on the way. Comes up well short. Sarutas brings it back. Gets it to Wolf for the Terriers. 57-31. Apparently the referees are keeping the clocks. That'll be a foul on Biggs. Picks up his third.
You know, near
Biggs.
Sorry, John. Nearby Carnegie, the late Skip Prosser was a native of Carnegie, PA, and his team went 4-0 under former assistant, now head coach Dino Gaudio, by beating Iowa, and that's in that ACC Big Ten Challenge. You know, that originally started as the Big East ACC, and I hate to tell you this, but the Big East wimped out on it. They wanted a little softer schedule earlier in the year, but now I see they're developing a relationship where they're going to do a similar challenge, I think, with the Southeastern Conference, and that's good for early season basketball.
Absolutely.
Most of the coaches who wanted out of that early season competition with the Atlantic Coast Conference are no longer in the Big East. So don't be pointing your fingers at guys like Calhoun. He wasn't happy. He wanted it.
And we've got a clock here. And just over 9 minutes to play. Here's Brown. Sam Young along the baseline. Puts up a runner, bending off. Tip try, followed good by Blair. He's got 9.
A quiet 9. They're not running the offense through him. He has to generate it.
Wolf with it. Long three-pointer.
Whoa.
Double foul underneath. We'll see if Carlos's basket is good. I'm guessing that it probably is. There was a huge collision.
But that ball was up in the air so long, you know, that could have been a 9 count. And it wouldn't have been a factor.
Double foul on Terriers number 39,
Scott Britton picks up his 4th foul. And Sam Young will pick up his 2nd foul on the double foul. That was a collision, wasn't it, under that basket?
Yeah, that was no fender bender. There
No,
was
sir.
There was some whiplash there.
And now the officials are going to talk things over. I think probably to make sure, Mike Kitts wants to make sure that the ball was in the air before that collision under the basket. But we've given the basket to Carlos Strong, gives him 14 points. He and John Holland have provided most of the offense, and now the officials are going to have a word with both coaches. Neither team is in foul trouble right now. 5 on BU, 4 on Pittsburgh. Take a look at the action inside.
Oh.
It was called a double foul. 8:41 to play.
Ouch. Basketball is a contact sport.
It is.
Football is a collision sport.
Young backdoor, couldn't hang on. Still gets it back. And he tries a hard bounce pass to Blair, and that winds up a turnover. Sam just a little frustrated. He's got 8 points tonight. He's had trouble all night, I think, Bucky, hanging on to the ball.
Yeah. Looks like he's trying to make a move before he really knows what he wants to do with it.
Another three-pointer on the way. That one rattles out. Britton with a follow, and he'll go to the line. The foul is going to be on Sam Young. He'll pick up his 3rd.
I think lethargy, it might be a good term to describe Pitt right now. Just that hunger. The hunter's not in him anymore. And with a score like that.
It's hard when you get up by 30 points, you know?
It's hard. Yeah, it is. Except, you know, he's rotating 9 people, and everybody wants to look good when they're in there. So I'm surprised that the non-starters aren't really trying harder to take advantage of their time. He's not a happy man. I mean, yeah, you want to win, but you understand the caliber of competition, and you want to see some execution, and it's been very spotty for Pitt.
8 points for Britton, who goes to the bench. His spot is taken by Gotzler. Max from Germany checks in. The Panthers have 4 of their 5 starters out there right now. Ramon, Fields, Blair, and there's a push. And that foul will go on Holland.
Again, Boston U going to that 1-3-1, trying to get some trapping and transition.
Experience is an excellent teacher. And what over 45 years of experience has taught Oppenheimer Funds is the strength of a balanced approach and the effectiveness of a diversely skilled team. Valuable lessons that guide us through an ever-changing financial landscape. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Carefully consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Call your advisor for a prospectus with this and other fund information. Read it carefully before investing.
If you want to make your hard-earned dollar go a whole lot farther, get ready. Advance Auto Parts has the low prices guaranteed to save you money. Get ready to get the best price possible on all the parts and accessories you need with our ready-to-go low price guarantee. Nobody can beat our prices on just about anything for your car. So when you want to get more for your money while getting more out of your car, get to Advance Auto Parts for our everyday ready-to-go low price guarantee. Ready in advance.
Get on the court for New York College basketball on SNY. The home of all things New York sports runs the floor with Manhattan College as Antoine Pearson and the Jaspers take on Fordham. College basketball on SNY presented by Infinity. Fordham versus Manhattan College tomorrow at 7 on SNY. Under the SNY spotlight, Pedro Martinez looks forward to a full season in 2008.
If I'm healthy, the whole staff gets better. I believe that if I'm there, there's so many things that I can help with.
SNY Spotlight, Pedro Martinez, Monday at 7, only on SNY.
Would you notice if you were missing half your kidney function? According to the National Kidney Foundation, 20 million people have chronic kidney disease, and 20 million more may be at risk and not even know it. Anyone with high blood pressure, diabetes, or family history of chronic kidney disease is at risk. Early diagnosis is vitally important. To get the whole story, talk to your doctor and visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org or call for a free brochure. Because when it comes to chronic kidney disease, you might not know the half of it.
59-36, Panthers comfortably in front. Let's take a look at our stat track. Look at the shooting percentage. They finally got up to 30%, did BU.
Yep.
Panthers hanging around 50%. Pitt will have the basketball. 7:53 to go, and we've got the shot clocks and the game clocks are back working again.
Out of the timeout, Dennis Wolf changed from the 1-3-1 to a 2-3.
There's the skip to Brown for 3. Got it. The redshirt freshman from Harrisburg nails a tray. Here's a rainbow 3, and he'll shoot 3 free throws as Sam Young's going to pick up his 4th foul. Sam Young is in foul trouble, and I think a little frustrated here tonight, don't you, Bucky?
Yeah, you just, you have such high expectations for this team. For 4 years it was big man dominated. Chris Taft preceded the big fella Aaron Gray, and so for like 4 years Pitt had a signature that was big and strong and inside, and because of weight loss and conditioning and focusing on quickness, this team is now quicker at every position, and they're really, they're dealing with the new tempo, and it's going to take a little while, and unfortunately the very weak competition sometimes doesn't bring you to the edge you're looking for. But it's coming, babe. It's coming. The Big East is murder this year. Now we see the 1-3-1.
Ronald Ramon, they get it inside to Blair. Nice pass underneath, and Sam was hammered that time. Hitting on the shoulder, and the foul's going to go on Gotzler. That'll be his third. So Gotzler picks up his third foul, and Britton is going to check back into the lineup. Young will shoot a couple at the free throw line. Sam working on 8 points tonight.
Panthers have played 10 and 9 have scored. And there are some big men still in the arsenal. Case and Diggs at 6'10", the freshman, along with Gary McGee. But Jamie Dixon can afford to be patient with them and bring them along while he follows this winding trail of up-tempo and more quickness.
I think there's a possibility still, Bucky, that Gary McGee will be redshirted this year.
Yep, I can see that. That's logical.
Ramon will pick up the foul. For Ronald, his second tonight. It is a 1-and-1 now, as both teams are in the bonus.
Not a happy camper there, Jamie Dixon. Once more. He expects more, understandably.
25 of the Terriers' points have come from Strong and Holland. And Britton has chipped in 8. This guy's a good shooter. 15 now. It's a new season high for him. His career high is 30, so he can score.
Well, Tyler Morris, the redshirt sophomore who was injured out of Indianapolis, Indiana, by the way, was a teammate of Ogden and Mike Conley there in high school. I have always thought he was their best player, at least last year, what he showed me as a freshman in the Garden. He was terrific, and they're hoping maybe in 2 weeks, but they're not going to rush it.
Well, they want to get ready for their conference schedule, which for them will begin on January 6th. They'll play at Binghamton. Ramon for 3. Count it. Ronald with his 4th three-pointer of the night. He's got a dozen. 6:15 to play in the game. It's 66-40. Well, he's just going to keep shooting. Comes up short. Ramon has the rebound. Ramon 4 for 4 in threes. Young down the lane, lays it off the glass and gets himself into double figures with 11.
Some tired Terriers not getting back on D. Starters still out there.
And timeout taken by Boston. Their next game is on December the 1st. They'll take on Manhattan, and they've got a date with Harvard. Panthers on December the 1st will play Toledo, and then they've got an interesting game coming up. They play at Duquesne, and that's a Duquesne team that has been lighting up the scoreboard.
Boy, and they've had their share of problems too with injuries, and here's that transition game, 4-2. They just keep coming at you. Sam Young, who was quiet there for a while, he's been over 20 in 3 of the first 5 games. Very effective in the transition.
He's averaging 19 points a game coming in. In his second and third games of the season, Bucky, he had back-to-back career highs, 23 one night and 24 the next.
There's a couple of reasons for that. His work in the offseason, and likewise the fact that the emphasis offensively is more toward the perimeter.
Blair got a piece of that one. Britton gets it back, and that's rejected.
Good D.
It'll stay at this end on the held ball.
Britton doesn't have really great hops, but he's got good feet. He just ran into a wall there. DeJuan Blair is a man.
Well, he's going to be undersized against some of the centers in the Big East Conference, obviously, but I think he's got the strength and the power to hold his own. He's not worried about it. Loose ball, another turnover. Fields puts on the brakes, finds Cook. Counting down to 5 minutes left. Young for 3. Yes, sir. Now he's coming alive, huh? That's his first three-pointer. Gives him 14 points on the evening.
The junior out of Clinton, Maryland, and Hargrave Military Academy is going to have a very good year, I think.
Good play by Blair that time to get the deflection. He's going to get the finish. No, from behind it was knocked away. He was ready to sky, wasn't he?
I'll tell you, he's a round mound to rebound. He's got some hops, that big fella.
From Shending High School, not far away from Oakland. Ramon from the corner for 3, and that's his 5th.
Better save some of those, Ramon.
He's 5 for 5 tonight, shooting the 3-pointers.
Oh, he's got a great release. He's been known to be streaky, but not tonight.
There's another bad pass, another turnover. Fields has Cook in front. Cook will finish. Cook with 11. And wholesale substitutions coming in now for Pitt. And we're going to see Gary McGee. He is coming out along with Benjamin.
It's getting to that point, John, where you really have to decide if you go to red shirt. They're allowed to play a few games. I'm not sure, since they've expanded the schedule, what that magic number is.
Yeah, well, he has played in, this is his 4th game now that he's played in. I remember Pitt was in that tournament, which they played 4 games that actually only counted as 1.
Oh, that may make a big difference. Otherwise, you got to go to a medical red shirt, which means sometimes pains have to start developing in there so that you can get it.
Matt Wolf finally comes alive and hits a basket. But the balance, Ramon with 15, Young 14, Cook 11, Fields 11, Blair 9. Those are the starters. They have been very well balanced in this game tonight. Panthers on cruise control right now. Benjamin with it. One of the 3 seniors on the team. There are no seniors at all on this Terrier squad. All underclassmen.
A couple of years ago, that class that would have been seniors now, they had some transfers. In fact, they transferred to University of Massachusetts. So that put him in a hole.
Another 3-pointer is buried by Strong. He's got 19.
I think Dennis Wolf just found another weapon.
Well, 5 3-pointers for him in the game, 19 overall. They're going to need those weapons. Of course, it'll be a lot better when they get Lowe and Morris back in the lineup.
They were 12 and 18 overall last year, 8 and 8 in the America East Conference. Got to the semifinals of the tournament.
Here's Cook for 3. Bending off. And the rebound goes to Wolf. And I think overall, Matt's dad is fairly pleased with him. He said, because we've asked him to do a lot of things that he never had to do before. That foul is going to go on McGee. And he said he's handled it very well. More subs coming in. The Panthers have used the 3-pointer to their advantage tonight. And the advantage is 76-45. Young the latest.
There's only one utility vehicle that can do it all. Only one that can outrun. Only one that can outpull. Only one that can outride. And only one that can outwork every utility vehicle out there. Only Ranger. Hardest working, smoothest riding. Test drive one today at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
The Range Rover Sport. With complimentary scheduled maintenance, visit your local Land Rover Center.
Daily News Live presented by Citi on SNY. The show that broadcasts in the heart of New York that comes straight from the heart of New York sports. The stars of the games. The voices that need to be heard. The writers who bring you the stories. They come to the show that brings the back pages to life. Daily News Live presented by Citi. Weekdays at 5 p.m. with encores at 11 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on SNY. College Basketball on SNY is brought to you by Infinity, who use the power of design to create dynamic, beautiful automobiles.
Tonight's Big East game has been brought to you by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. Peterson Event Center, very tough place for non-conference teams to play, and the Terriers are finding that out tonight. As Strong is back at the foul line.
That's a great stroke, John.
Yes, it is. That gives him 20. He's the leading scorer on the court.
Watch that. Watch the release in the backspin, which really makes it snuggle to the rim, even if it's not dead on.
Well, that's dead on. So 21 for Carlos Strong is his high for the year. He'll sit as Marcus Johnson checks back in. Benjamin walks the ball up court. A little over 2.5 to play. The Panthers have led throughout. There was at one point a 2-1 lead for BU, but that wound up being 19-4, and a nice move inside that time by Tyrell Biggs.
Known as a finesse player, he put a little muscle on that one. Went into the defense and looked good doing it.
Wolf gets to the baseline and then reverses. Long three from straight away, in and out. Scramble for the loose ball. Wolf with a putback, but it didn't go. 2 minutes to play in this one. Here's Benjamin, the senior. Oh, nice quick move inside to make that interception by Gotzler. Stopping and popping the three and hitting the three is Holland. He's got 14 points.
Well, it's very hard for Jamie Dixon to take much away from this game. Struggled a little early and then just absolutely blew it open, and it's just hard to keep your concentration.
And he wants his team to get back, and they did not. Unfortunately, it's a turnover. And I'm saying unfortunately for BU because the Pitt Panther guys were not back at all.
When you think back to that Big East Tournament Championship final game, when the Panthers were dominated by Hibbert and Aaron Gray was on the floor and was 1 for 13.
Right.
You have to project this team with the small ball, the style of play that's been enforced now because there's no Aaron Gray.
Right.
You wonder in the physical Big East. But I still like this. I like this Panther team. I like their depth, and I don't think tonight is any indication of how good they can be.
Fry is in the lineup. That is pushed up, finally getting it up there. Oh, that's an offensive foul.
They like Brad Wanamaker, the 6'4" freshman guard out of Philly. He's grooming him as a backup point guard.
You know, he's still adjusting, I think, to the speed of this college game.
Good point. That's a term most people don't understand. The speed of the game, the strength and the quickness of the players.
Wallace is in there. There's another three-pointer, and it's banged home. So it's a 24-point game for Carlos Strong. He just put on some kind of show. He just keeps getting farther away from the basket, and they still go in.
He ought to have a 4-point shot. By the way, 4 or 5, that's the only way they're going to get back in it.
Fry misses a three. The ball is loose and put back up. Tip try is good. And that is the point for McGee.
Nice to see these kids get off the bench and get a chance to play.
That's the first collegiate field goal for McGee. There's a baseline runner, bending, no good, and a rebound again by Gary McGee out of Anderson, Indiana. Final 20 seconds. All the subs are in there now for Pittsburgh, and that one is thrown away. Fry tried to get the ball to Austin Wallace. Also getting some court time right now is Maurice Poland. When it's 80-53, everybody gets to play. And they're just going to let the clock run out. 80-53 will be the final score. Fields and the Panthers very happy because they walk away with an 80-53 victory tonight over the Boston University Terriers, and Fields was the guy that really kind of got them going in the first half. Jamie Dixon is settling down in between us. We'll hope that he can hear.
I can hear you good.
Can?
Good.
Coach, what do you take away from this one?
I thought we played pretty well early. I think we caught a team that's obviously missing their 2 guards, and it's a team that I think will be better as the year goes on and probably be contending for their league. I think they'll end up, could be an NCAA tournament team. Obviously not at full strength now without your 2 top guards. So, but we did some things really well. We didn't continue with it all the way through, but we passed the ball. We were unselfish all the way. And, when you're unselfish and you're up by a big margin, that says a lot about kids. And so we're doing some things well. I thought we got out-rebounded in the second half, and that was something that we'll address.
You got Toledo coming up Saturday. What will be the points of emphasis for the Panthers between now and then?
Rebounding, I think we turned it over too much today. I thought we tried a little impatience early in offense as far as tried to drive some things when it wasn't really there rather than reverse the ball. So our turnovers were higher than they've been, and second half we got out-rebounded. So, they kept battling, and to their credit, and Coach Wolf's a great coach, and they'll get this thing, when they get their other 2 guys back, they'll be a better team. So could see them in the NCAA tournament at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they make that tournament.
Well, you had good balance, though, tonight, especially from your starters. It was pretty evenly divided.
Yeah, I thought Levance was really good. Again, unselfish all the way through. And, we had a number of breaks there in the second half that anybody could have taken it, and we found guys and made the extra pass. So he's been really good all year long. His defense has been good. And they were going underneath some ball screens early, and we recognized that. And you can see both of those. They went underneath the ball screen, and so Levance read it. So good push game and on some times. But, we got to get better, and we'll get better in these next couple days.
Your kids seem to like this openness and not looking in the rearview mirror for Aaron. They're adjusting.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, we're a little smaller, obviously. I think you got to be quicker if you're going to be smaller, and that's what we are. So we'll continue to push it like we have. We always have. But, again, we've got to be able to score in the half court, too. And I didn't think our half court offense was as good as it should have been today. They change defenses. They go zone. They go man, a couple different zones. So we need to do a better job attacking. I don't know if we did a great job all the way through. But, again, it's hard when you're up by a large margin to sustain it, and we could have been better. But to their credit, they kept battling, and that's why they kept getting those rebounds, those long rebounds in the second half.
Didn't go to Blair much.
They really compacted it. Their defense was compact, either man or zone. They're going to be in the paint, and so not easily. I thought it was good. We got Ronald going with some threes early. I told our coaches today at training table, Ronald's going to hit some shots today. He's healthy. We said he'd be healthy by December 1st, so I moved it up a couple days. So, so it was good. He played very well, and I was real happy with our guys.
Coach, thanks a million.
Thank you,
as always.
Thank you.
And we will see
Keep
you.
going. Love your defense. Love your guards.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Jamie Dixon joining us. Another victory for the Pitt Panthers. He forgot his water. Here are the final stats. Pitt shot 51% and made 10 threes. So, Bucky, that's a good combination. You make 10 three-pointers, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, there are a lot of highlights, but again, with the game is out of hand, it's very difficult to measure. He's got a good squad. He's got depth. He's got some kids that are looking forward to playing this new game, and they're going to be good at it.
Once again, the final. The Panthers of Pitt 80 and Boston U 53. For Bucky Waters and our entire Big East TV crew here, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you down the road. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports. Good night.
To get your Sportsnet New York on the web, make your homepage SNY.TV, the online home of all things New York sports. Real-time news, scores, team pages, exclusive video, blogs, message boards, and more. Your link to every local sports section. Your link to every single New York team. Pre-game, post-game, every game. A site dedicated to you, the New York sports fan. If you want your SNY online, bookmark SNY.TV.
Get your New York sports online here.
Explore her grandeur. Appreciate her beauty. protector for tomorrow. We all share the responsibility for protecting nature and preserving the environment for future generations. You can help by recycling your old rechargeable batteries. Call 877-2RECYCLE or visit us online at calltorecycle.org to learn where you can recycle your old rechargeable batteries. Please, answer the call to recycle.
Daily News Live, presented by Citi on SNY. The show that broadcasts in the heart of New York that comes straight from the heart of New York sports. The stars of the games, the voices that need to be heard, the writers who bring you the stories that come to the show that brings the back pages to life. So take a seat at the round table for debate, for issues, for controversy. It's the home court for the talk of New York sports. Daily News Live, presented by Citi, weekdays at 5 p.m. with encores at 11 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. only on SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Hello and welcome to Future Phenoms. I am your host, Pat Summerall, and thank you for tuning in today. We have a grand show on tap today as we get legendary with some of the biggest names in sports, including a visit with not one but two former Heisman Trophy winners and not one but two gold medal winners. We also check in with a couple of twin hoopsters who have finally found a home and a junior who might be one of the best in his class. Let's get started in the Rocky Mountain region with a look at a two-sport star, Jeremy Bloom. There's no question that Denver, Colorado has a favorite son when it comes to sports. John Elway is as much legend as Buffalo Bill, who is buried just outside of Denver. John still lives near Denver, and his son Jack has continued his role as a quarterback at Cherry Creek High School. While Cherry Creek is a perennial playoff team, just north of Denver is Loveland, a team who has made state titles a habit. One of the former members of the 2000 state championship run is the subject of our next story. Meet Jeremy Bloom. Well, actually, you probably already have. That's because it doesn't matter if you're an outdoor sports fan or a traditional sports fan. Jeremy Bloom is a star in both. At 15 years old, Jeremy became the youngest member of the U.S. ski team, and while it was an honor, Jeremy had another love: football.
When I was 15 years old, I faced the first real crossroads with both of my sports. I had just qualified for the United States ski team, and a lot of people within the ski industry were telling me that, you have a ton of potential, your future's not in football, you're too small, and we think that you might be able to go to the Olympics someday.
Jeremy's skiing career was showing great promise, but on the football field there was something special many were beginning to see.
Bloom makes the catch inside the 10.
It's referred to as burst. We started to see an explosive burst in him during those high school years, to where what one of his coaches said, he was at full speed in 2 steps. The other thing that we started to see, which I think was a direct component of mogul skiing that was now being applied to football, was the ability to look ahead of him while things were moving very quickly and to make very fast adjustments based on colors and patterns and stimuli moving around, which is what you have to do when you ski moguls.
Chris Gebhardt, one of Jeremy's teammates, remembers how hard it was to stop the speedy receiver.
In practice, I went up against Jeremy. I didn't want to, but you have to. So I went up against him, and not many guys could cover him. My twin brother was the other corner, so I was one corner, he was the other corner. I would usually just tell Greg, my twin brother, hey, you got him. I don't want anything to do with him, but it was fun.
In fact, the team was so close that it was no surprise that Loveland took home the 2000 Colorado State Championship.
Winning a state championship in football is still today one of the highest athletic memories that I have, because you start playing with these kids in middle school, and your group of core guys, my group of friends starting in middle school, we always talked about it. Our senior year, we're going to win a state championship. And I remember our junior year, we didn't like the senior leadership, and we just knew that when we got into that leadership role our senior year with our core group of friends, that we were going to do it, and we made that dream become a reality. We actually won on the last play of the game,
And it was, you know, something out of like a Hollywood script, and it was a lot of fun for all of us.
His success in football also came in the form of a full-ride scholarship to the University of Colorado.
The pitch back to Bloom. Oh, man, and he's got blocking.
October 28th, 2000. I remember the day when Coach Barnett called me and got on the phone, and you know, they would call maybe once a week or so, and he said, we'd like to offer you a full-ride scholarship to play football here, and we want to try to win a national championship. I think my heart skipped a beat, and it was a childhood dream come true to get a major Division I scholarship to a university that I idolized.
For his father, it was a mixed blessing. He has been on the faculty at Colorado State University for over 30 years, and the opportunity to cheer on his Colorado Buffalo son came much earlier than he thought.
CSU was winning that game pretty handedly. Jeremy was not supposed to play, but the punt returner had an injury, and so I see him running into the field, and I said to my wife, I cannot watch this. And she said 2 or 3 seconds later, Larry, I think you better open your eyes up right now and see what's happening. And I watched in front of me this event unfold, which I think was the single highest adrenaline moment of my life, in which he returned a punt for 80 yards for a touchdown and 75,000 people cheering.
Bloom's collegiate career would shine bright for only 2 years due to an NCAA ruling barring him for participation due to his professional career as a skier and the endorsements he had received. At that point, his sports career turned strictly to skiing. But football scouts did not forget his on-field play. In 2006, Jeremy was invited to the NFL Combine.
After the Olympics, a week later, I flew directly from my competition to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine. And when I ran a 4.4 there. For me, it was a disappointing time because I'm faster than a 4.4, but I think for the scouts and the other teams, they looked at it like this kid hasn't ran in 2 years or a year and a half. Just flew in from Italy, ran a good time, and we have his college tape. And that's when the phones really started ringing, and my agent said, you know, you could go as early as the 3rd round.
Jeremy wasn't drafted in the first 3 rounds, but the draft's second day offered renewed hope.
The next day, the draft started. Jeremy was still sleeping. And he finally got up and he said, anything happen? I said, no. And then all of a sudden, the phone rings. Next thing I know, the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, Tom Hecker, says to Jeremy, Jeremy, this is Tom Hecker of the Philadelphia Eagles, how would you like to be an Eagle? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, an Eagle? Philadelphia? I grew up there. This is not happening in front of my eyes.
With his dream of being part of the NFL accomplished, Jeremy now finds time to give back. This past year, he traveled home to Colorado, where in the beautiful setting of Breckenridge, Jeremy hosted a charity event benefiting, among others, the Pat Tillman Foundation.
We're all up here for the Pro Celebrity Uni 2, which is an event going on all week up here in Breckenridge and supports 2 foundations. One is a local foundation up here called the Summit Foundation. They raise about $1 million annually and give all that money back to local charities up here. And secondly, the foundation that's really close to my heart is the Pat Tillman Foundation. Pat is my hero in life, and we're raising money for his foundation that takes young men and women through grants and helps educate them in hopes that they can become leaders and make a profound impact on this world just like Pat did.
From introductions at the police versus the firefighters hockey game to a star-studded poker game that included his mother, Jeremy was able to give back to the state that has given him so much. At such a young age, Jeremy has much ahead of him in the way of a sports career. However, his accomplishments and dedication to charity have already made him one of Colorado's favorite sons, and for us, a legend of the game. While Jeremy is not currently with a team in the NFL, there's no question his football aspirations are alive and well, as he has worked out for a number of teams who could be a great fit for the speedy wideout. To keep up with the latest on Jeremy Bloom and for additional information on other athletes across the country, head to our website at prepticket.com. There you'll be able to see all of our work in the National Spotlight section. You can also post your own videos, create your own profile, and interact with high school sports fans all across the country. You can also enter the Why Do We Love Football Youth Football Photo Challenge presented by Canon for your chance to win a trip for 4 to Super Bowl 42. Check out prepticket.com/Canon for more on that. There's still more to come on this show. After the break, we check in on a Heisman winner as well as an up-and-coming hoops phenom. Stick around, won't you?
What's up, everyone? Pete here, and welcome to Blue Hippo, where anyone can get a brand new, brand-name computer regardless of their credit. Take a look at this. You can send emails, download music and video, even organize your finances. This is a fully loaded desktop computer. Let's take a call. Hello, caller?
Yeah, hi. I have really bad credit, and I've been turned down before. Can you really help me get a computer?
Do you have an active checking account and a home phone number?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's all you need. So whether you want a desktop or you prefer the convenience of a laptop, you can get either one regardless of your credit. And if you order now, we'll send you a free color printer and a free flat screen TV so you can watch your favorite shows and movies and print and email digital photos. So to be clear, when you order today, you can get your choice of a brand new desktop or laptop with tons of great software, plus a free color printer and a free LCD TV. And remember, there is no credit check and your approval is guaranteed. But you must call Blue Hippo now.
Hey, Jets fans. That's right, I'm talking to you. As soon as our game is over, switch to SNY for Jets post-game live. You don't even have to leave the couch. Just grab the remote and turn to SNY.
Get analysis and all our post-game reactions.
We'll be ready to talk to you every week with Brian Custer,
Ray Lucas,
and Adam Shine in the SNY studios.
Listen to these guys. Watch Jets postgame live after every Jets game this season, only on SNY.
All you got to do is change the channel to SNY. See? It's not that hard.
Get your New York sports here.
What day is it? Saturday? So I haven't missed it.
Today, everyone gets a rear seat entertainment system. And to you, a rear seat entertainment system.
And one for you, and one for you, and one for you, young boy.
Rear seat entertainment system, everyone.
This holiday season, lease the all-new 2008 XC70 crossover and get a complimentary rear seat entertainment system.
Thanks for keeping it here. We head now to the southwest and right to the middle of the Sooner State. Oklahoma City is known for football. After all, the powerful Oklahoma Sooners play just 20 miles south in Norman. But slowly, OKC is getting to be known as a basketball hotbed as well. The NBA's Hornets played the last 2 seasons there while New Orleans recovered from Hurricane Katrina, and the Seattle Supersonics could soon be on the move to the Sooner State. On the high school courts, OKC features one of the top players in the nation. Xavier Henry of Putnam City High School is ranked as one of the top players from the class of 2009.
He has great size, great quickness. He's still a baby at the game and just getting better all the time.
That's right, Henry is just getting better. Last season, he averaged more than 25 points per game. That came 1 year after leading the Pirates to the state championship as a freshman. The Henry family knows all about athletic success. Older brother CJ was a top-flight basketball prospect before choosing to play professional baseball.
Yeah, he helps me a lot. We always play against each other, and everybody would always chant CJ's better or whatever. It just motivates me.
Henry still has plenty of time to choose a college, but Memphis, Kansas, North Carolina, and just about every other top program would love to have him aboard. From the Southwest to the Midwest now. When you think of great college football players, the name Desmond Howard immediately comes to mind. From the catch against Notre Dame to the punt return against Ohio State, Howard ran away with the 1991 Heisman Trophy.
It was special, real special. I mean, to be crowned the best player in all collegiate football is a huge honor, and the Heisman Trophy is so prestigious. It's very special for a young man at the age of, 20, 21.
But Howard's greatness didn't just start when he put on the maize and blue. Howard's electric playmaking skills were first displayed at St. Joseph Academy in Cleveland.
My high school days were great. I was an All-American tailback. Our team was always ranked in the USA Today top 25, so it was great.
Howard played for 9 seasons in the NFL and won the Super Bowl Most Valuable Player Award as a member of the Packers in 1996. Howard retired in 2002, but remains a legend of the game. Time to switch gears again as we head out west for a female fireballer who set the world ablaze and took home the gold. Next to Mia Hamm, Jenny Finch is arguably the most well-known woman athlete of our time. She may look like a model, but on the diamond, her arm is as powerful as Nolan Ryan's once was. Growth of women's sports over the past 5 years can be attributed directly to young heroes like Finch.
I started at Arizona my freshman year. I think 3 games were on television, and then by the time my senior year was there, every single game was televised. So I think just the growth of women's sports and the growth of television coverage has helped us tremendously, and just the growth of our sport of softball in general. So it's been exciting to see, and I've been able to do some exciting things and meet exciting people and travel around the world doing this. I'm grateful to the people before me that have paved the way and broken down the barriers to, enable us to do what we do now and just create more opportunity for women and just keep going and just enjoying living the dream.
And her dream is becoming other young girls' dreams. On this day, she was in Texas visiting with the state champ from Garland, giving advice on what it takes to get to the next level.
It's really important for me, especially in this crazy world that we live in. Hopefully somehow maybe have an impact on young girls' lives is one of my goals, and it's just been amazing that I've been in a position to hopefully just tell them to have dreams and have goals. And I was once in their shoes dreaming of being an Olympian, and with a lot of hard work and dedication and sacrifice, you too can live your dream.
Finch's lofty dreams started from the young age of 5, going all the way through her high school, where her father taught her how to use that golden arm of hers.
My dad's been my pitching coach ever since I was 10 years old, and he's the one that dragged me out on the field even when I didn't want to, and he's the one that believed that I could be someone special and be something that I didn't even know I could be, and I'm truly grateful for that. And he's developed the Finch windmill, which is an arm-shoulder exerciser, and I still use it to this day, and it's been, I think, very helpful for me in keeping me injury-free and helping me play at the top of my ability.
Her talents led her on to Arizona, where she would win a national title. But the biggest sporting event in her life came in 2004.
The Olympics was an indescribable experience. Everything and more that you dream of, and it was an incredible experience to play with these women that I looked up to, Lisa Fernandez and Leah O'Brien, Amico, and Laura Berg, these girls that I watched play in '96, on tour, and now I look to my left and right and they're in the dugout with me. And so to experience that, and just with 18 girls travel for a year and prepare for that one moment in time, and just to be able to represent your country and wear USA across your chest is definitely the highest honor that I could ever achieve on the softball field.
Nowadays, Jenny is married to Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Casey Daigle. With both being pitchers, they have a young son, affectionately named Ace.
Casey gets the credit for that one. He, like the first 2 weeks we started dating, he said, I just want to make sure something's okay with you. And I said, what's that? He said, well, if this all works out, I've always told myself that my first boy, I want him to be named Ace. I said, okay, and sure we are 6 years later with Ace.
Jenny Finch, another one of our legends of the game. Time for another break in the action because there's still much more to come. When we get back, we hear from another Heisman winner, this one a titan among men. We also hear from a set of twins who have found a home in Lawrence. We'll explain right after this.
Right now, Proactive Solution has good news if you have a difficult pimple or sudden breakout and can't find relief. Because when you order now, you'll get the exclusive refining mask free with your 3-piece kit. Just a dab, and the mask is designed to zap problems. It's fast, it's dramatic. Instead of hoping for an answer, use the mask and you've got it.
I use the mask for spot treatment sometimes. I put it on in the evening before I go to bed, and when I wake up in the morning, you don't have acne, and that's a good feeling.
It works the fastest, it's potent. That's what I tell people. It's like my little skincare army.
Call now and order the amazing Proactive Solution to heal your acne and help prevent future breakouts. Proactive is the #1 best-selling acne system in America, called Best Acne Treatment by Allure magazine.
I enjoy life more. I get out there and I do the things that I want to be doing without having to worry about the way that I look.
And now, you'll save 50% on Proactive when you order in the next 4 minutes, just $19.95.
Proactive's really, changed my life. It's changed the way people see me, and every hour of the day I'm thankful for it. It's, like gold in a bottle, really.
And you'll have the refining mask to zap problems it's fast, as it helps reduce redness and calms your skin.
For on-the-spot pimple control, I use the refining mask. Just a little dab, that's all you need.
It's a Proactive exclusive, and it's yours free when you order the Proactive kit at 50% off.
I use the mask over my full face just so that I can make sure everything's even. It's great.
Order in the next 3 minutes, and you can have the amazing refining mask at no charge. It's a Proactive best product, and it's part of Proactive's best offer.
I can tell it works, I know it works, and it's definitely my favorite product.
Don't just dream of clear, beautiful skin. Make it real. Order Proactive now and get a free upgrade to priority shipping. Call 1-800-543-1491.
It just makes you feel so good.
I'm Gary Apple. Coming up on Geico Sports Night, the Giants linebacker Antonio Pierce is going to be live in our studio to talk Big Blue football. And we'll talk about the Jets with Greg Buttle and Ray Lucas. Lukey Luke to his friends. Geico Sports Night, 6:10 at 1 a.m.
Hey Jets fans, here's your shot at an SNY Jets All Access Pass. Attend a live taping of an SNY Jets studio show. Get 4 tickets to Jets Browns on December 9th, including pregame on-field passes. You want the access? Log on to SNY.TV today to enter and win.
Welcome back. We're headed to the Northeast and talking Twins in Philadelphia. Perhaps there is no better place for Marcus and Markeith Morris than the city of brotherly love. After all, the two are twins and teammates on the basketball court. Marcus is a 6'8" small forward who wears number 41, while Markeith is a 6'10" power forward wearing number 42. Despite their looks and bloodlines, the Morris twins have completely different styles of play.
He's more of a by the time you get to college at the prep year, he'd be more of a shooting guard / small forward, and I'll be a set power forward trying to work on into a small forward. I see he's more as a box player, and I like to step out on the wing a lot. Because then seeing something in me that I don't think I even seen in me, and he said that I could put the ball on the floor. He taught me I put the ball on the floor, so I like to expand my game, play down low, step out.
The brothers don't play the same position, which only helped their hopes of playing at the same college. Recently, the brothers both announced that they will play next season at Kansas. Simply put, it was a package deal.
I mean, it was like we choose together, so I mean, any college that was recruited just me or just him, we automatically X'd him out.
The Twins still have plenty of room to improve on the court. That's why they'll play this season at a prep school in New Jersey. For this set of twins, the sky is the limit.
Well, the first thing that stood out was those guys were pretty coordinated to be so big and young. They're still just 17 years old. So I really believe they have a lot of growing to do in terms of, they have a lot of growing to do physically and just on the court in terms of basketball IQ.
Time to head to the Southeast, where one former Heisman made a living as a touchdown machine. A lot of great high school football players were pampered in high school. That certainly is not the case when it comes to Eddie George. George attended Fort Union Military Academy in Virginia, where the rules were strict and football was not a high priority.
My high school days were different from most. I went to a military academy, and we played in front of maybe 50 people. Plus cadets, it was 150. So it was, those were my high school days.
After rushing for more than 1,300 yards as a senior at Fort Union, George accepted a scholarship offer at The Ohio State University. As a senior in 1995, George set a school record with 1,927 yards and earned the Heisman Trophy in a slim vote over Nebraska's Tommy Frazier.
The day that I was the Heisman winner, my life totally changed. I've been signing autographs since 1995 and haven't stopped since. And, you know, it's always a recognition that you get with it, and it's a good thing to be a part of. It really is. Once you stop playing, regardless if you had a great pro career or anything like that, you'll always be remembered as a Heisman Trophy winner.
George just kept rolling along in the NFL. He was the league's Rookie of the Year in 1996 and led the Tennessee Titans to Super Bowl 34. After playing one season for the Dallas Cowboys in 2004, George retired from football, but he remains a legend of the game. Time to take a look at our top 10 teams in the country, and there's no question that Miami Northwestern belong. That's because the Bulls are one of the few teams in high school football to have to defend their #1 ranking against the #2 team in the country. But that's just what Miami Northwestern did, as earlier this year they beat South Lake Carroll High School from Texas in Texas. The Bulls feature a number of high-profile players, including 2 wide receivers and a quarterback who knows how to get them the ball. This year, few teams have challenged the Bulls, as they have 3 dominating shutouts to prove it. Now they move to the playoffs, where they set their sights on yet another Florida State High School football championship. Here's a look at the rest of the ranking. There is still much more to come on our program. Find out how you could appear on a future episode right after this timeout.
Future Phenoms is brought to you by Canon, official camera of the NFL. Go to prepticket.com/Canon by November 29th and enter the YD